into the old familiar shame, but sharper now and stripped of guise, with open scorn and living eyes. What marked my childhood had hushed and cold was small beside what streets could hold. My village feared what it denied. The world could wound with purpose bright. They looked at her the way I knew, as if her breath defiled the blue, as if my own and Kael's beside had trespassed where the pure abide. But I had touched those wings with care, had drawn back grace through ruined air. And when that Sélari light was cast, I moved before the thought had passed. The shield, I caught the line too late to keep her whole and fine. It broke through light, it found its mark, and white paint split the alley dark. Her cry went through me like a blade. The work of mercy I had made lay torn beneath a stranger's hand, as if repair could not withstand. I knew rejection, I knew blame, I did not know till I saw how cruelty could become its law. I raised the light, but not in time to keep her wings from that clean crime. I held the strike from taking more, yet still it left the spirit torn. And in that wound the whole street changed. The air grew tight, the silence strained, because behind me something vast had reached the edge of breaking fast. Kael had cut his voice to bone, those narrow words exact in tone. But when she fell, that shape gave way to something fear could not delay. I turned and saw it in his face, the grief, the horror, and the space where tears stood bright and dread stood near, as if he watched himself appear. And then I understood at last what thorn had sensed, but could not cast in any law of truth or breath. Not enemy, not friend, but depth, a split so ancient, raw and wide, no instinct could stand whole inside. And Kael, tears told me,
take Maria and run.
so I obeyed the breaking plea and dragged her weight away with me. I would have stayed, I would have turned, but something in his sorrow burned with too much truth to disbelieve, too much of ruin underneath. I heard his warning in my blood and fled before the world could fly. We ran, she stumbled beneath his flame, no chosen malice, none to claim. I saw the same moon, blind and deep, take root in blood and stone and sleep. And all I was could only stand with borrowed light and shaking hands, protecting what that ring could keep, while all beyond was drawn too deep. Then form grew thin and came apart, as if the dark unmade the heart, not burned to ash by common fire, but stripped beneath the hungering pyre. I saw the city lose its soul, street after street beyond control, and all I was could only stand with borrowed light and shaking hands, protecting what that ring could keep, while all beyond was drawn too deep. I still had no true name for me, no answer fit for what I'd seen, only this truth the night made plain. My light could bar but not restrain, and when the city's soul was torn, I stood inside the shield I'd borne, with Neria's blood upon my dress, and all the rest becoming less.